Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I realized that I didn't explain in this rant that I'm about to upload, or fucking fuck. Okay, I made a whole rant video and I didn't really explain necessarily how everything interconnected to each other. So, I'm gonna record this and then I'm gonna record a quiz at the end to make sure you were paying attention to your guided reading. Hi, it's me again. The quiz isn't going to be at the end. I'm just going to tell you now. So I had a sequence of events happen, and they were very close together, and they were very interrelated, and I didn't really know what to do with it, other than talk about it. And this is enormously uncomfortable for me, but I had to do it anyways. Hi, it's me again. I'm doing this because I'm nervous and uncomfortable, but it's just kind of funny to do as well. So, it's me. The video is about, hi, it's me again. Yeah, so it's not going to be as funny or entertaining as it's me. Hi, it's me. Okay. So, I hate video production. I hate editing videos. I hate the sound of my voice. So I'm gonna rant, put it together. Maybe it'll be dog shit. Maybe it won't be. September of 2024. After years of underpaying employees and having no clear plan, large local aerospace company's new genius CEO plays a game of chicken with the union that builds the planes at the company that I work at. This ingenious plan involves furloughing salaried employees to avoid layoffs, and everyone is promised that layoffs would not come. Not going to happen, because this guy's a brilliant businessman. He's a genius. That's why we're going to pay him $20 million in just this year that he's worked for like 3 days. October. After having avoided 3 separate labor reductions, I'm told there are going to be layoffs. I had just received my first and only poor employee review from someone who didn't understand how linear time worked and also had been fired, well, allowed to quit. And I knew this was it. Granted, I had already been applying to jobs frequently since September of that year, and I knew that I did 100, 200 applications a day with the goal of 1,000 a week. This is a surefire numbers game in my favor. November 6th, 2024, the vast majority of my coworkers are in this quasi-celebratory state about how the country's going to get right back on track. A small minority are in this semi-catatonic state, and at least one of them just straight up telling me they're suicidal. Bizarre way to start a conversation. I had no idea what was going on for the first 2 hours of that day. Someone informed me, well, there was a presidential election. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I was in a Discord call last night. Funny because it was unexpected. I did not have a single care in the world. I mean, I was staring a layoff in the face. I knew that world politics offered me neither happiness nor salvation, regardless of outcome. I did not care. Now, regarding these layoffs, this was the week that I noticed that I had been going from like getting a minimum of 2 interviews a week, minimum, to 0, nothing, like no callbacks, anything like that. November 10th, Kingda Ka, the record-breaking roller coaster of relative fame. I don't know. I'm just now getting into roller coasters. Tallest in the world, announced to be demolished November 10th, was the second Stratocoaster built, and although they lost the title of fastest to Formula Rossa in 2010, it held records up until when it was demolished. Roller coasters being subjective rides means that Kingda Ka may not have been the best or second best coaster ever, but like objectively there are records. That's undeniable. 418-foot drop, crazy. for me personally, I had gone to Disney for the first time in my life in 2023. I was pushing 50, and I had only recently been on my first couple of real roller coasters in 2023. So I was new to this world, had no pre-existing nostalgia, and I just could not comprehend, to this day, not really, something so interesting, record-breaking, and they're just business decision, we're closing it down, business decision. I had learned of its existence and the destruction, yin and yang, yin yang yin yang, from friends who were enthusiasts. So from like a business perspective, November 13th, 7 a.m., I was laid off after having avoided 3 redundancies in 4 years. So I had worked from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day for 5 years, every weekday, let's be fair. The job right before that, I worked 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week for 2 years. So I was used to working. Full career history. 33 managers in 7 years at aerospace company. 33 managers in 7 years at aerospace company. 7 years. Anyways, but my career titles: tech, manager, over to finance, teller. Finance isn't working out. Go be a mechanic at tech at aerospace company. Become a consultant. Become a manager. Oh, that can't have that position anymore. Okay, so now I'm back at being consultant again. Become a manager again. Oh, hey, actually, we're discontinuing this position. Go back to consultant. Hate it there. Cannot stand it. Have 2 of the worst managers in the history of the world. Nightmare people to be around. Get a transfer. Finish out as a procurement agent, which ostensibly was my favorite job I've ever worked. I liked it. It was fun. I could go on and on about working conditions. I could throw my prior company under the bus. I could just name and shame. That's not going to change anything. It's not. It simply isn't. November 13th, 2024, I had given my job so much of my time without them, I had no bearing on who I was as a person. Total identity crisis, okay? Remember that numbers game I mentioned a little bit ago? September 2024? Mm-hmm. September 10th, 2025. I was ballpark 52,000 applications. You could say, oh no, BS, or you could say, oh, you're doing it wrong. Whatever, dude. You're not me. Whatever. I know what I went through, is what it is. Indeed, LinkedIn, temp agencies, you name it. I had my first proper interview September 10th, 2025. Been a year since my layoff. The day seemed uneventful, and I felt that the way I had presented myself with confidence, with the role in the company, I would be the most memorable thing of the day. I mean, I really hit it off with 2 of the people. It's a true story. I was a little off-put because, one of the managers there, he was like slumping in his chair. True story. Slumping in his chair like this for most of the time. And he seemed half dead, like most of the time. I chalk this up to this being a formality at the interview, since I had 25 years of experience consulting companies you wouldn't believe, consulting people you might know. 25 years of experience. This is a slam dunk. You think I got that job? Of course I didn't. May 21st. The night, this is early morning. I'm recording this. So, just a couple hours ago. I've been in a state of absolute disassociation for over 6 months. a video pops up on my feed about Rafael Nadal. I loved Rafael Nadal, and the first thing that goes through my mind is it's terrible that he had to retire so early in like 2015, 2016. That's when he retired, right? And I says, no, wait, hold on. No, I remember getting like a notification like 2022 or something that he had won a match, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, that's kind of crazy. It was November 19th, 2024. The same week. The same week that my layoff had happened. I swear. I swear that I've watched every match between like 2005 and 2014 French Open, Roland Garros French Open. Even though it's not possible because of the time difference, but my mom always had tennis finals on. So it could be like early morning repeats or like Sunday morning stuff. My memory's fuzzy. We're talking 20 years ago. I was probably a kid. Well, you're a kid till you're 25. Let's put that out there. You're a kid till you're 25, and I was before 25, 2005. I'm so wrapped up in working the type of jobs I've been working since 2015. First dead-end jobs, then even more dead-end jobs, but they're better paying corporate jobs. I hadn't watched a tennis match since college. And I barely keep up with the news. That's the trombone story from earlier. And so all I could think about after while I was watching this video was, it's such a shame that this great player wasn't able to win more titles than Roger Federer. I wasn't a huge Roger Federer fan. I thought he was really arrogant, very narcissistic, and he's just unbeatable. And I could swear to myself, no, there's no way Nadal won a single title after 2017. Rafael Nadal won in Australia in 2022. He won the US Open in 2017 and 2019. And he won Roland Garros in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2022. Putting him at 22 Grand Slam titles and Federer at 20 Grand Slam titles. I had lost myself and my joy when it was just a little bit out of reach. I thought working hard, putting in long hours, cutting out unnecessary things like waking up for things or sporting events, stuff like that, would make a difference. I was investigated on at least one occasion that I'm aware of time theft. What? I thought delayed gratification meant everything would work out. We're in the middle of a massive AI bubble that realistically could replace every single STEM degree tomorrow if companies felt like it. I mean, I just made a short about it. Like, build me an airplane, make no mistakes. Engineering's math. A computer can do it. It's in a textbook. A computer can do it. I thought going to college, getting a couple of degrees, building qualifications, building rapport would mean that I could bounce back from anything. Apparently my education and experience isn't good enough to work a day shift at Home Depot. I've been ghosted or blocked by about 90% of the people I worked with. I see dozens of promotions, new jobs on LinkedIn, people going from aerospace company, Amazon, Blue Origin, people just getting promotions on promotions on promotions, getting paid relocation packages and stuff. People who put in a fraction of the effort I have, people who have a fraction of the passion I have, because I know them and I've talked to them, and I've made the joke earlier, I've literally had to explain the concept of linear time to several people. If you don't know what linear time is, it's time. I've had to explain time to people, how time works. Sir, you're 55 and you claim to have a master's degree in engineering. I should not be explaining time to you. All of this frustration, comparison is the enemy of happiness. I get that. But righteous indignation is really hard to fight. It's really hard to fight. one of the things I had most in common with my mom was a love for tennis. It was truly like it probably still is, but at least when I was watching it, it was the pinnacle of one-on-one sports. When I adjusted my schedule to work, like jobs I got to be there at 5 in the morning, well, it's a 30-minute walk from the parking lot, and it's a 30-minute drive. It became really easy to cut out pretty much all sports, honestly. Baseball is another one that I grew up constantly being on the TV. Really easy to replace with mindless YouTube. The other thing is terrible umpires. I'm not gonna watch. I don't care that you're an umpire, dude. I don't care about you. I care about the dude who can hit the ball 400 feet. All right, I care about you. NBA and NFL games. We're talking 2026. I was saying this years ago. They feel rigged. This is not conspiracy. They feel rigged because of the constant gambling ads. This is not a conspiracy belief. They just straight up just give me that feeling. Like it feels like a charlatan, snake oil salesman. They have the same feel to me as, old-timey Midwest guy. Just drink this tonic, everything will be great. Hard to explain. Might be one of those. I don't know. The feeling of scripted, though, not a thing I just used to describe. Feeling of scripted has been the last 2 years watching Oklahoma City Thunder. It's unwatchable. Phantom fouls. There's one guy out there just committing assault. Literally assault. I mean, I'm no fan of Draymond Green. But OKC literally just going around assaulting people. Like they could Tanya Harding someone if they felt like it. And talking about getting into sports again, this new ABS system in baseball is like a tiny baby step in the right direction. But honestly, with all like this gambling horse shit and the 2017 World Series title, that's a joke. Like that's the Black Sox. If you know baseball, if you know ball, it's a Black Sox stain. Total legitimacy issue. Too little, too late. I love baseball because it's hard to not be emotional about baseball, but like baseball as like the banana ball's more fun, just point blank. Baseball's cool, banana ball's more fun, and I also have a huge amount of childhood nostalgia for it. All right, there's bias there. Transition. Formula One with the boys. This is relevant to me talking about cutting joy out of my life. About 2 years before my layoffs, my friends had really gotten into Formula One. So we're talking 2021, 2022. As it stands, Verstappen can still win the championship. Might be the best hopium I've ever experienced in my life. It's a sport that resonates like at the perfect frequency as my autism. Like think of it like a flywheel and a clutch engaging my autism perfectly. Shout out to RPM sunglasses. All my homies hate the Aston Martin pay driver. Now granted, the current set of cars suck. All right, that's neither here nor there. The point F1 is the most diabolical and disgusting race times of any sport you could ever choose to, any event, really. Formula One, it has to. There's tracks all over the world. I can't tell you how many times I was able to watch a race and not miss work. Whether it was on like the day before at a diabolical time or like 2 days before. Every time was not an issue. That's a huge part about my friends bullying me into being social with them and enjoying the sport. And even today with the snip snap driving, I love having it in my life. It's a social event with friends. The cars are cool. Most of the drivers are pretty cool. What's the point of this rant? Why am I talking in a video at 12 o'clock at night for 30, 40 minutes? The video won't be 30, 40 minutes, but that's how long I'm going to talk on the phone. One, it's eye-opening how much in life is lost for the pursuit of things. This job will let you buy a house, and you have all kinds of... Nope. AI is cheaper. Go die in a hole, you peasant slave. So, don't sacrifice too much for the pursuit of things. Find something that makes you happy. Keep it in your life, as long as it's not unhealthy. Looking at you gambling and alcoholics. I like drinking. 2, I lost the visibility of my favorite tennis player. A guy I first watched win a Grand Slam tournament over 20 years ago because of a stupid job that I hated, and that turned around and laid me off anyways after I had given all this sacrifice, right? I missed out on half of a career of my favorite player, who ends up being the second greatest player to play the sport. Like, the objective facts are insane. Sub-point to this is that's the point of the Kingda Ka reference. Also, I wanted to add it because the inside joke that none of my friends gave a shit when I got laid off because Kingda Ka had just passed away. Rest in peace, Kingda Ka. 3, slowly and surely, I'm ripping off Band-Aids that I put up because I didn't have the tools to tell people to fuck off at work. Being laid off for 1 year, 6 months, and 8 days has not made me a better person. Not taught me valuable life lessons. What it's showed me is that I will never ever compromise on things I enjoy in life ever again. I don't have a conclusion other than those points. I'd love to say something really profane about, oh yeah, the importance of this. It's a wacky timeline. I'm unemployed. Probably will stay unemployed. Probably making YouTube videos about how evil a local aerospace company is. Not gonna help anything. Who cares? This is what I wanted to do. It's dumb, it's stupid, it's low effort, it's low quality. Probably start doing this about other sports things. Fuck off. So it's mostly just gonna be a rant about like the worst possible week, well, 2 weeks in November, where a bunch of bizarre things happen, one right after another. And kind of the crux of this is a roller coaster being demolished, me receiving a layoff, and my favorite tennis player retiring, and yeah, it's all happened within the same week. You thought that last clip was out of order, but it was just an excuse to distract you from my size 6 feet. The trivia question was, what was the video about?